Hello guys, today I'm making a video where basically, first of all, it's heavily inspired by this guy named Adizz Pro, where he does like alternate scenarios. So that's what I'm doing. So first of all, this is a voiceover. Second, so I'm gonna spin this wheel right now. Okay, so whatever it picks, I'm gonna make like an empire out of it, and it's Romania. Yeah. So we're going to make Romania an empire. Okay, here's Romania. Let me just highlight it with red real quick. Okay, here's Romania highlighted with red. So first we gotta invade a country. And the one I'm gonna invade is gonna be Moldova, yeah. Because, it's pretty weak. So we're gonna start by invading at the top and the bottom, so we're gonna start invading at the top, and this is a surprise attack. Moldova was definitely not expecting this, so we get to go in pretty deep, and we kind of get pretty far in the bottom too, and we're getting close to the capital of Moldova, which is Chisinau. So it's pretty easy. We just invade all of Moldova, like it's so easy. And then we can reach sight of the city and we capture it. Okay, so in the peace treaty, we just annex it, So now we have officially won our first war. So then we have to see who we should fight next. I'm thinking Bulgaria, Bulgaria, because they're pretty weak. I mean, compared to what? So we're invading over on the right, but they're invading over on the left. So our army has to catch up with theirs, and while we're concentrating on their army on the left, they invade our army on the right. So we have to swoop in and get it on the right. And then we go back to the left, and we get that little weird peninsula there, and we start pushing into Bulgaria. They start pushing us back though because they don't want to get annexed like Moldova was. So we have to start fighting a bit harder, and it's pretty hard, So we capture one of their armies, and we get pretty close to one of their major cities, but they fight back. So we try to encircle their army. But they capture one of our encirclements or whatever. So we have to go over and fight their army. And it's an intense battle to encircle the army, and they almost capture some of another army of ours, but we eventually capture that big piece of land. In the peace treaty, we just take a bit of land to the left. Then we start invading North Macedonia because they are pretty weak too, They start fighting back a bit because they've been training, because, they've seen the chaos and they're like, I don't want to be a part of that. Just like everyone else is in the Balkans, but, still they're pretty small, so in the end, we get their capital. We annex them. And then we go after Kosovo and Montenegro. So both nations that were part of Serbia and Montenegro. So I guess just cleaning up Serbia's mess. So Serbia thinks that they don't fully recognize Kosovo because it was part of them originally that rebelled. So they start attacking us, but we still have the upper hand because just like we're super big. So we start to invade, and Kosovo surrender. Then we go into Montenegro, but Serbia gets back some of the land that we took from Kosovo. So then we go back over to Kosovo and take Smoljan in Serbia, and we take the capital of Montenegro, and they surrender. Then we can finally focus all of our troops into Serbia, and we are pretty close to the capital, and it takes a bit of time. And they try to cut us off, but instead we cut them off. So now they can't really do anything now because they barely have any troops. So we get their capital and they surrender, and we annex everything. Okay, so we begin eyeing up some more of our neighbors, and we think it's a good idea to invade Hungary. So we start invading. We get this part up here, and we get pretty much like all of the border, and we're going pretty far into Hungary. But they have been preparing because they border us, and they've been seeing some weird stuff. So they fight with all of their lives, but and then some rebels come on their side. So we have to fight Hungary and the rebels. But the rebels thought that those Hungarian troops were Romanian troops. So after they take this part of that was once Serbia, they attack Hungary, which was a mistake, and Romania gets like a big piece out of the rebels. So then we start to attack Hungary, and we capture some of their troops, and we go really far. And then we start to invade the rebels, and they are completely gone. And then we go back after Hungary, and we can reach sight of the capital. But we don't care that our supply line is gone. We keep going on. So in the peace treaty, we annex half of it, and the rest is puppeted. Then we look for some new targets, and we look around and we see Albania. So we start invading, and they've seen, well, what's going on up there. So a bunch of the troops just kind of give up, you know. But there's still some troops left to stay, and we can see, we literally are in the capital. But then their troops fight back, which was like the first battle they've actually done. But in the end, we take the capital, or at least we try to, but they start invading us. And eventually we take their capital, and they surrender. We annex them. So we think that fighting Ukraine is a good idea. So let's just So we quickly capture that area that's really weird, you know. It's just like, you know, when you have a tooth that's falling off, but you don't want to, you know, take it off, and it's like on a string, you know. It's basically what's going on there. So Ukraine takes a big bite out of Romania and tries to take Cluj-Napoca, which is a pretty big city. And they're getting pretty close, but Romania pushes them back. Ukraine pushes Romania back even further. And so we try to get back and eventually capture an army of theirs. And so we start invading Ukrainian territory, and we get back all of our original land. So now all of our troops are approaching Ukrainian territory and going really far in, at least, you know, on their scale. And we and we are getting close to reaching a major city of Ukraine. I don't know what it's called. Let me check. Okay, it's called Lviv or whatever. I don't know how to say it, but we capture it anyways. Okay, so we can start to reach sight of the capital.
Here's something I found on the web. According to shape.com, lift right leg up to reach toward the back corner of the room, keeping the hips square and toes pointing down to start.
What? 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 Oh yeah, okay, so Russia starts to invade Ukraine too, and it's a surprise attack, so they do pretty good, you know? This is a voiceover, by the way. So we take Ukrainian territory, and this is the peace treaty. So Ukraine is split into three pieces. One is Russia's, one is Romanian, and one is Ukraine. Okay, so this is the greatest extent of the Romanian Empire. I hope you enjoyed this video. Okay. Bye.